Funding for Ellen Rohr's Is There a Business in You is provided by Nexstar Network, a business development and training organization for progressive service contractors. Watts Radiant, national leaders in radiant floor heating and snow melting. Springfield Business Journal, demonstrating pride in publishing. Oakstar Bank, combining our strength with your vision to achieve your goals.
The following program is a production of Ozarks Public Television.
Is there a business in you? This program will show you how to construct a plan for fleshing out your big idea, the one that's been floating around in your head. Here's what's different about this program compared to infomercials or other business education programs you'll find on TV. I'm not going to tell you how to make $1 million by using a specific real estate selling system or by working on your computer for just 3 hours a day. This program will provide you with a simple strategy for discovering your unique business. Should you go for it? How can your big idea make money? How much? Should you quit your job and jump in with both feet, or move slowly and build your business a little bit at a time? I'm going to help you find out. Is there a business in you?
Business builder Ellen Rohr has made it her mission to help people answer that question with a resounding yes. Ellen has constructed a simple plan to help you develop a successful business, one that makes you money and adds to your life. Ellen has shown people all over the country how to turn their ideas into money-making, life-enhancing enterprises. Her real-world experiences have helped her develop business tools that work from Main Street to Wall Street. Learn how you can turn your dreams into dollars.
You're in the right place at the right time, right now. Before you sink your savings into this business or put your home equity line on the line, let's put a plan together. Now, you may have no interest in a business of your own. Consider how business basics could help you do better at the job you have now. You could help your boss improve his business and develop opportunities for yourself to move up the ladder. The information I'll share today is basic, fundamental. It will appeal to your common sense. The challenge is, we didn't learn this stuff in school. I have a degree in business administration. I graduated at the top of my class, and I nearly sunk the family business. I married a plumber. He had a business, and sadly, his business partner and his best friend died. And he was ready to shut down the business, and then I did a really dumb thing. I quit my job and went to work for my husband. I thought I knew what I was doing. I've had a lot of business experience. I've had over 100 jobs. I used to be a dockhand at a marina. I handed out cheese samples in the mall. I taught windsurfing and skiing, and I've had lots of restaurant jobs. I was a dishwasher, a cook, a waitress, and finally a manager. So I thought I was well prepared to quit my real job with vacation, benefits, high pay, and then go to work in the family plumbing business. It was a good idea. My husband turned the wrenches, I counted the money. Lots of money was flowing through the business, but at the end of the month, there was no money left. It was awful. But I got some help. I learned the basics. I learned how to keep track of the money and make more of it. We turned our company around. We got rid of debt. We created some profits and real salaries for ourselves, for our employees. It was so much better. Then we sold our business. My husband and I went middle-aged crazy, moved to the country and bought a gentleman's farm, something we'd always dreamed of doing. So I was at a point in my life where I wanted to give back. I wanted to share some of the great stuff that I'd learned, the easy systems for making more money and having more fun in business. So I started to work with small business owners. And I developed really easy ways to make more money and have more fun. I developed the Bare Bones Biz Plan. It's what I know works to help you build a winning business. As I was compiling the plan, I was looking back over my 100 jobs, and I was trying to recall, of all these bosses that I worked for, who really had it going on, had a tight, organized business? And then it hit me. It was Jackie. Jackie was the owner of Foxy John's Coffee Shop. I worked there when I was a senior in college. Jackie had a vision. of what she wanted her business to be. And we bought into it. And I was a fence testing employee. Trot out a rule and I will break it, but not on Jackie's watch. In her kingdom, we played by her rules.
It's your business. You can try new things without going through your boss has to go to his boss, and you can try out if you have something that's innovating and you want to try it and you just know it's going to work. Some of them do and some of them don't. You can do it. You have that power to do it as an owner.
And it was fun because her systems made sense. They helped us do better and perform well. A bus would pull up to the restaurant and about 1,000 people would pour into the restaurant all at once, but we knew what to do. The line cooks, the waitresses, the cashiers, we all had a role, and we played the game, and we played it very, very well. It made us feel good, and we were acknowledged for a job well done. And we made money. What's not to like? And you know, the customers loved it. They would come in and feel the energy and the love and the fizz that Jackie created in her kingdom. And I realized that Jackie did what I'm recommending that you do. Figure out what you want. Craft a vision for your business and then put systems in place for making it happen. And you know, it was just a coffee shop. And she elevated it to an extraordinary example of good business. You can do that. You can do that in your business. Since then, I've worked for hundreds of people, helping them build their businesses. I helped start a franchise company, and we grew from 0 to 40 million in sales in just under 2 years. And I learned that the basics work, from the coffee shop to Wall Street. So let's discover the business in you. May I introduce the Bare Bones Biz Plan? Pretty high tech, right? Now, I'm a huge fan of technology, cell phones, computers, internet, email, PDAs. I love all that stuff. But nothing beats a 3-ring binder, right? This is where you can put your business plan. So play along with me today and we'll build our business plans right here. A binder is easy, it's portable. One of the nice things is you can take it with you. I've gone to seminars where they've said write down your goals and make sure you put your plan together, and I never knew where I should put that plan. Well, put yours right here. It gives you something to hold on to, and you can show other people. You could say to your spouse, this isn't just a harebrained idea. This is how we can build a business, and this is what I'm going to do to make it happen. Or you could show your first employee. It may not look like much now, but I got dreams. And this is what this business can be, and this is how we'll be different and better than the competition. This is how you fit in and how you could win.
Being able to have the plan and being able to lay it out in front of my wife and have her, you know, to have kind of buy-in in it. I mean, it took her to understand the numbers and to look at it and to really be, you know, confident that we could actually do this. And it's just like, you know, eating an elephant one bite at a time. If you look at it in the smaller sections or the months or weeks, it's something that really is achievable. It really is. Looking from the big picture, it, you know, may be overwhelming, but really it's not. I mean, and we're doing it. You know, I mean, we're proof that it can be done, and we're doing a really good job. So I mean, sometimes it surprises me, you know, that we can actually achieve what we're achieving, but it's really working.
The plan is divided into 6 sections, and I've got this tabbed up with 6 sections. Easy. The sections represent the different areas of your business. This is what I call them in the Bare Bones Biz Plan. The first section is setting sight. Now, setting sight is designed to help you figure out what you want, craft the vision of your company, and set the course on the horizon. The next section is called building the team. There's systems in there for building an unstoppable team. Who does what, when, how. The next section is about the money, honey. In the making money section, we'll address budgeting, coming up with a selling price, keeping track of the money so you can make lots of it. That leads to the next section, which is called getting it sold. Simple systems for sales and marketing that don't insult your soul. Then getting it done. Getting it done is the procedures, how we do things. Systems for making good on your promises. And the last section is making sure you're on a good path, making sure that you're serving people, making sure that your employees are well served by working with you, and making sure that you know how to get back on track if you fall off. Now, a business is overwhelming. There's all these things that you have to do. So the Bare Bones Biz Plan allows you to put some order, some structure into the process. I was snooping around the Small Business Administration website, and I was looking for statistics about small businesses, and the statistics are pretty bleak. I found information saying that anywhere from 44 to 95% of businesses fail in their first few years. You can beat the odds. You can beat the odds by doing two simple things. One, get very clear on what you want. And two, do the few things that make all the difference to your success in each area of your business. Put together a Bare Bones Biz Plan. Now, business is risky. I get it. Having a job is risky. Social Security, will that be there for you? Used to be once upon a time. You could work for a company for 30 years and retire with a great pension. Those days are over. It's up to you to gain clarity on what you want. You can build a winning business. Put together a simple plan. You're entitled to success, and the Bare Bones Biz Plan will help you do it. Now we'll address the setting sight section of your Bare Bones Biz Plan and of your binder. As the king or queen of your company, it's your responsibility to set sight and identify the point on the horizon to which this company will take you. A terrific exercise for helping you do that is the Perfect Life exercise. And there's a form in your binders. Let's play along. I want you to describe your perfect life, moment by moment, starting with when you wake up. And then go through each hour of the day. What would you do? Who would you do it with? What would you have for breakfast? Would you go to work? Would you go to a company? Is it your own company? Is it big? How many people work at your company? What kind of services and products do you provide? How about your family? Would you spend time with your family? What kind of activities would you like to do? Go throughout the day and describe that day in as much detail as you can. Write it all down. First thought that comes to your mind, if it feels good, you're on the right track, jot it down. One of the neat things about this exercise is you can come back to it. And if you see a picture on the internet or in a book, you can clip it out and 3-hole punch it and put it right in this section of your binder. Gain clarity on your perfect day, on your perfect life. The seeds of your business will be in there. The things you really, really like to do. What's the point of this business? Why should this business exist? If it moves you in the direction of your perfect life, that's good. If the why is compelling enough, you will put in the time and energy required to get this business off the ground. That takes us to the next section of the tab. A mission statement is a statement of why this company should exist. It's the cornerstone of your business on which you will build this winning business. At Bare Bones Biz, our mission is worldwide business literacy. There are basically two ways to distribute goods and services on this planet. There's government and there's business. Good trading practices, honorable business, people exchanging their gifts and services with each other, that's better than expecting the government to dole it out. Good business practices inspire me, and that's why we do what we do at Bare Bones Biz. Some other examples for mission statements. FedEx is peace of mind. At Mary Kay, enriching women's lives. Now it's your turn. Consider the big idea or the moment of epiphany that caused you to start your business or consider starting a business, and see if you can find an inspiring nugget there for your mission statement. And you may say, you know, it's a car wash. I'm just opening a car wash. On a tough day, that may not be a compelling enough reason to get out of bed and go to work. The mission allows you to elevate an ordinary business into something extraordinary, perhaps a way to demonstrate your excellence. That makes any business so much more. When the why is big enough, you will put in the energy to make it happen. You will figure out what you need to do to make this winning business happen. There's more in Setting Sight. The Setting Sight section is designed to help you gain clarity and purpose in your business. And when you do this, you become so magnetic to other people who may want to come and help you make this business a reality. Which leads us to the Building the Team section of your plan. Your business will take off when just one other person says, I see what you see, and I want to help you make that happen. Now, you may decide that your business, your perfect life, is working all by yourself. That's fine. It's your business. It's your vision. If your perfect life involves a company that's growing and other team members coming to the business, then I'm going to show you an exercise that will help you expand the team and grow your business. Your job is to lead, to share the vision, and help others see it so that they can join with you in this business plan. Have you ever had a job where you show up on your first day of work and you don't know who's in charge and what you're supposed to do? It's frustrating. And then somebody tells you to do something and someone else tells you to do just the opposite. You can do better. Even if you've yet to hire an employee, let's set that employee up for success. And a great tool to do that is the organization chart. You'll need some more high-tech equipment like sticky notes and a magic marker and a wall, an unadorned spot that you could put these Post-its up. And now I'll need a little bit of help. Toss out, what are some of the tasks that you might need to do to run your business?
You need a bookkeeper.
A bookkeeper to count the money, terrific. What are some other tasks that might need to be done? Answer the phone, terrific. So put answering the phone on a Post-it. What's another one? Marketing. Marketing needs to be done. One more. Hiring people, sure. So we'd put that task on there. And you would do this exercise until you exhaust all the tasks you can think of that need to be done in your business. Next step would be to organize like tasks together. And then you create a position. Then the position description is simply the tasks that person is responsible for. You can also use the organizational chart to show the reporting relationships, who reports to whom. In your binder, under the Building the Team section, there's a sample organization chart, org chart. The very top box is yours, the king or queen, so go ahead and put your name on that top box. If you're just getting started in your business, your name may also be assigned to all the other boxes, to all the other positions on the org chart, and that's okay. You may see, though, that it doesn't take you to answer the phone, or maybe someone else could be in charge of the marketing, and so you could start to portion off some of the tasks that don't need you, or maybe that you're not very good at. It could be a part-time position, or maybe it could be a few hours a week. So consider structuring the org chart in such a way that everyone knows what role they play and the tasks for which they're responsible. Now, if you've got a partner, this is a very important exercise, because whose name goes in the top box?
Steve Tatro is my business partner in Gig Salad. He was first just a person who was my webmaster and my graphics guy and my advertising guy with Steiner Talent. And as Steiner Talent was growing, I had more and more talent reaching out to me for representation, looking for gigs, wanting to be listed on my roster. And so the idea for Gig Salad came about in that I wanted to create a venue, I wanted to create a place where the talent could be seen and heard on the web. And it was Steve who I thought could really implement that idea. I have no knowledge to speak of the computers. I mean, it's grown since we've been working together, but he really is the person. And I said, here's the idea, and he went and he's made it happen. He's given the site its look. He's given he's been able to make it function. And as we went along, we just kept doing things remotely. He lives in North Carolina. I live in Springfield, Missouri, and we just kept doing what naturally came to us. I'm a talent guy, so I dealt with talent. He's a graphics guy. He dealt with that. But when it came to the organization of the business and what role, what title do we have, that wasn't there. So Steve and I realized that we've been sort of running this business for 2 years and hadn't actually gotten together, hadn't met. We talked on the phone every day. We'd email each other. So we realized if we were going to really take this to the next level, we needed to get together and we needed to make sure that we understood which titles we had, what our jobs were really, and really sort of formalize that. So we created a limited liability partnership, and we met in New York City. We got a hotel room, and we stayed in that room for 2 days. And we used our bare bones biz plan, and we said, let's try to get through as much of this as we possibly can in that amount of time. But we focused on one area in particular, and that was the organizational chart. And we just felt like we need to be able to go home and know exactly what each person is going to be responsible for. We need to know exactly each day what our goals were individually and for the business, and who was going to do what to see those goals happen. And that's what really helped me was, and Steve. I mean, we left from the airport, and realizing that the entire trip was worth discovering and knowing that portion of it. I'm the chief, and that was the best part of it. We discovered that I'm going to be the guy who leads it, and Steve was happy about that, and fine with giving me that responsibility. It was my idea, and Steve helped to make it happen. But I think we're on our way to something really pretty amazing.
Okay, let's recap. You start by setting sight, by crafting your vision, setting the point on the horizon to which this business will take you. And then you consider the team. Could you have other folks help you get it done? Now, let's address the money, honey. How are you all going to move up the ladder with this business? How many of you have heard this? Do what you love and the money will follow. That's a lie. That's a myth. Do what you love, certainly, but the money won't just follow. Here's another myth. Find a great accountant and then you won't have to worry about the money. You have to worry about the money. It's your money. It's your responsibility, and you can never delegate responsibility for the money. If you're in business already, and you don't know where you stand financially, stop and figure this out right now. If you're just getting started, start right now, from the get-go, keeping track of the money, and you will thank me later. The Bare Bones Biz Plan will help you do this. Now, this seems obvious. My experience with business owners teaches me that most business owners have no idea what's going on with the money. And there's two reasons why this happens. One is that they're afraid. They're afraid to look. They're afraid to confront the fact that this business might be sucking the money and life right out of them. And the second reason is they don't know how, because we don't teach bare bones biz basics in school. Well, we're going to demystify financials right here. The two main scorecards in your business are called the balance sheet and the income statement. The balance sheet tells you your assets, what you have, your cash, inventory, trucks, your stuff. Liabilities are what you owe, and equity is what you own. This is easy. One way to grow assets and equity at your company is through profits. Now, profits, we find those on the income statement, the other scorecard. The income statement is sales minus expenses equals profit. If sales are greater than expenses, we have a profit. If sales are less than expenses, we'll have a loss. Right, okay. Losses are bad. Profits are good. Business is easy. So no panicking. If you don't know where you stand financially, it's okay. You can figure this out. The first step is to get to a known financial position, because you can always improve the score. You can always make it better. And you may need some help. An accountant may be able to help you support your efforts in getting clear on the financials, maybe cleaning up the messy financials that you already have going. An accountant may be of service. I encourage you to pursue a known financial position. Be relentless in this. I challenge you to be able to read every line item on your balance sheet and income statement. You can do this. The words are weird. Yeah, you know, it may take you a little time to figure out your asset from your elbow. Stick with it. line by line, to be able to read every line of the financial statement so you know the score in your business, I challenge you to make that happen. Ask questions until you're clear. Remember, I told the story about Foxy Johns and Jackie. Jackie tracked everything. And once upon a time, one of the waitresses stole $50 out of the till on my shift, and Jackie found out and fired her within the hour, which was great for me, because otherwise I would have been suspect.
We had some problems, so then Tom would balance the registers every hour. But you have to keep track of the money. You just can't think that and it's not that you think that somebody's going to take something from you, but it's your business, and if you didn't care about the money and things balancing, you may not have that business very long.
So if you're not keeping track of the money, chances are good that money may go missing. And it's your responsibility to keep score, to know where the money is, and to protect the honest people who work for you. Next up, goal setting. Once we're tracking the money, the idea in business is to make more of it. That brings us to the B word. This is called budgeting. Budgeting is goal setting. In sales and expenses, this is terrific stuff. Also, from your budget, you'll be able to determine your selling price. Your selling price comes from your budget. Once upon a time, when I was sinking the family business, this is how I set my selling prices. I called my competitors and asked how much they charged and charged the same thing. Then I read an article by a businessman named Frank Blau. And in this article, he said, add up your costs of doing business and charge more than that. Wow. This rocked my world, and it set me on the path to prosperity. Charge more than it costs, right? In the Bare Bones Biz Plan, I've got a terrific budgeting program that will help you. It does the math for you. It's simple, it's powerful, and it can help you put a budget together. Let me share some tips for budgeting. Don't be afraid of it. It's just a pretend income statement. Start with expenses. What do you intend to spend on insurance, rent, pencils, computers, and so on? Then fill in the sales line, the top line, last, and make sure that the sales line is bigger than the expenses to allow for the desired amount of profit. Easy. Do several scenarios with your budget. Try out different things. If I grew really fast, what would that budget be? And maybe a more conservative look at the budget. The budget has to show a profit. That's one of the rules of budgeting. Now let me ask this question. How many seeds does it take to carry on a watermelon family? One seed. It takes one seed to carry on the watermelon family. And that one seed could create a watermelon plant that has dozens of watermelons on it. But nature knows that stuff happens. And so nature packs that watermelon with hundreds of seeds. All it needs is one, but nature will put a little cushion in. And I suggest you do the same thing with your budget. Your budget is just a goal. If you make it, terrific. And if you miss it, well, you know where you can go to get back on target. This is easy. Have you ever seen the movie Apollo 13? The astronauts are on their backup plan. They're trying to get themselves and their damaged ship, almost out of fuel, back to Earth. And the pilot of the aircraft is holding sight of the Earth through the porthole window. And that's what they're aiming for. But they'll drift off course, and then they'll blast off a side rocket and get back on track, and then drift off a little bit and blast back on track. And that Apollo 13 craft was off course 95% of the time, but made it back to Earth. That's the power of a goal. Remember, as you put your budget together, remember to put in a salary for you. Yep, you. The idea is that you make money doing this. How much do you want? What would you like to make for a salary? So let's figure that out together. In your binders, there's an exercise. This exercise will help you come up with what you want for a salary so you can plug it right in the budget. So how much money do you need and want? I'm going to take you through the steps. Let's start with what you absolutely need, bare bones, to feed, clothe, and shelter your immediate family. I'll toss out some numbers for the sake of the example, but plug in your own numbers. Let's say $35,000. You write in whatever you like. Now, how much more than that I mean, you're going to sink some time and energy into this business. What if we doubled it? $70,000 to take home for you, for your salary. Put in whatever you'd like to make the deal even sweeter. Now let's talk about a benefit package. If you're leaving a good job, you better build in some benefits in this business. A good benefit package, insurance and so forth, that could run you about $15,000. So jot in what you think you would want to include for a benefits package for you. Now let's talk about retirement. Most folks don't have a retirement plan. And the older you are, the more you'll have to contribute. You could live to be 100 years old. That's going to take a lot of money. So you might have to put a pretty hefty retirement dollar amount in there. How about if we use $20,000 and $1 for a lottery ticket, just in case. One of the cool things about building a business is that you could create wealth and give back. It feels really good to give to charitable organizations. Maybe you'd like to tithe to your church or to your alma mater. To give back, what would you like to put down for your personal contributions this year? Why not jot down $10,000 or whatever you'd like? Oh, and then there's weddings and bar mitzvahs and orthodontia and big parties. Gosh, that can throw you back. For shindigs and extra items, why don't we put in another $10,000? Now, if we total all those numbers, $125,000, you put down what you want. It's your business, it's your life. Take a moment and jot that down. Most folks have never considered how much money they really want. This is a great exercise for figuring that out. And it's the most overlooked line in the budget. It won't just happen, but if you plan for it and put it in your budget, you're in business. So put your salary in, all your other expenses, and the top line of your budget is now your total sales goal. Very cool. Which leads us to the Getting It Sold section of your Bare Bones Biz plan. All right, here's the rule. Here's the Bare Bones Biz rule. You've got to charge more than it costs. Now, if you don't know where you stand, you won't understand what your costs are and be able to determine a winning selling price. Now, how does your competition charge what they charge and continue to stay in business? They go into debt, perhaps. We don't know. But from what I know from working with business owners is that they could very well be losing money, but not you. You are going to figure out a winning selling price. You're going to make money. To do that, you'll have to ignore something I learned in college, what the market will bear when it comes to your selling prices. The market bears all kinds of things. How many of you like coffee? All right. How much could you pay for a cup of coffee? Once upon a time at the coffee shop, I charged 39 cents for a bottomless cup of coffee. You could sit there all day, and some did, for 39 cents and drink that cup of coffee. And then came Starbucks. At Starbucks, you could pay north of $5 for a cup of coffee, and people are lining up. Now, can you get cheaper coffee? And can you get better coffee? Mm-hmm. Starbucks figured out how to add value to that cup of coffee so that we're willing to pay more for it. You can do this too. Now, let's come up with the selling price for you. The basic selling price formula for your company is this. Divide your sales goal by the number of items you could sell, the number of things you could sell. If you sell hours, divide it by the number of hours or days that you could sell. That's where your selling price should come from. If you do the math, you are going to discover that your prices are higher than your competition because they're not doing the math, right? This is what I didn't learn in school. In school, in my accounting classes, we talked about budgeting. And then over in marketing, I was taught things like what the market would bear and the going rate, and there was this disconnect. Go to your budget for your selling price and then figure out how to market in such a way that you can get that price and have your customers say, yes, expensive, but so worth it. Don't try and compete with your competitors on the basis of price. You will need to compete with them. You'll have to get creative. Learn how to add value. Do what you do so well that people are willing to pay a premium for your services.
Well, we developed a selling price, and my selling price was 2 to 3 times what the competition was selling for. And because we put the numbers together, that's what we sold for. And it worked. And you know, it all comes down to servicing the customer and doing those extra special things to deserve that selling price. But that's what the numbers showed, and so that's what we're selling at. And it's working very well. And even though at my skepticism when we started out, you know, it's working really well.
And it is not hard to be extraordinary. We've gotten used to poor service, rude people on the phone, broken promises. If you show up on time, clean and sober, you could blow away most of your competition. It's easy to be extraordinary. Leave low prices to the big box retailers and consider, what if you sold fewer, nicer things? The world would be well served by those offerings. Marketing is connecting with people who want what you have to offer. And sales is presenting options, solutions to problems, or ways to enhance people's lives. You can learn these things. Suppose you put your plan together this far and you come up with a selling price and you think, there's no way I'm going into my market with those selling prices. Well, you don't have to energize this program. You don't have to energize that plan. You could decide right now not to sink your life savings into that business. You could say, maybe I could figure out ways to add value so that these prices become a non-issue. But wouldn't that make sense to do before you put your home equity line on the line? Now we're going to move from big thinking to focused activities. Now let's dive into the Getting It Done section of your Bare Bones Biz Plan and of your binder. We'll introduce another high-tech tool. This is your master to-do list, a simple, single-subject spiral notebook. You may already be thinking of all the things that you need to do to get this business off the ground or get it energized. I suggest you write everything in one place in a simple notebook like this. Otherwise, you're going to have little Post-its and pieces of paper all over your desk. It's a mess and it's confusing. So keep this with you all the time and write everything you intend to do. Any ideas you have, write it right here in the master to-do list. Why, you could have pages and pages of things to do, am I right? How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
Exactly, one bite at a time. And the next question may be, yes, but which bite first? How do I get started? Where do I go from here? And the answer is, it really doesn't matter. Just pick a few things, energize those, and you'll be fine. You'll get to the whole elephant by and by. So store all of your ideas here, and then we're going to get focused. So some of the items on your master to-do list may be, I should put a sales training program together. I really better get going on my budget. So you might write your budget down, or anything else that you may have thought of during the course of this program. That's the master to-do list. Now, from the master to-do list, we're going to select a few items and move them to the top projects list. The top projects list you'll find under the Getting It Done tab in your Biz Plan binder. Put no more than 10 items on this list. You might even have a team member help you and put that team member's name next to the assignment of that top project. This way your team can help you get some things done. Store everything else on your master to-do list. It'll be fine there until you knock a couple of things off your top projects list, and then you can move another item onto the top projects list. These are simple tools, but they'll help you stay focused, get things done, and not feel so overwhelmed with your business development. You know what's cool is so far as you develop your business plan in this Biz Plan binder, it's perfect. You haven't made any mistakes yet. It's all on paper and you can think through your plan and whether or not you even want to energize this business. But you'll find courage there because the plan makes sense. It's perfect right now, but it won't end up that way. Stuff happens and you're going to fail. You're going to fall in some holes and you're going to climb right back out of those holes. That's what the Making Sure section is about. You're going to blow it and you're going to hear about it. Your customer may say, this is the wrong color, or your installer tracked mud all over my carpet, or my brother-in-law knows a guy who has a friend who could do the work you did for half of what you charged me. Things are going to happen. Let me suggest a simple strategy for making things right when things go wrong. First, listen to your customer. I understand that you're frustrated, upset, concerned, angry, whatever it is. Then resolve to make it right and do that, and maybe a little bit more. As you make it right with your customers, you now have a customer who will sing your praises. And a good customer, good word of mouth advertising is the best there is.
Somebody comes in and eats at your restaurant, maybe 10 somebodies, and they love it. Maybe they'll tell somebody, maybe they won't. But you get one person that has a bad experience, whether it's with a food or a waitress or something, they'll tell everybody they know. So that word of mouth is very, very important.
You'll also find ways that you can improve your business. As you come up with a better way of doing things, we'll rip up the old procedure, take it out of the binder, craft a new one, 3-hole punch it, and put it back in the Bare Bones Biz plan. So the Bare Bones Biz binder is easy to update and is constantly evolving, getting better, stronger as you move towards your ideal business. This program is intended to be a tour of what it would take to put a business plan together and what you would need to do to energize that business. This can work to make that idea in your head a winning business reality. And I encourage you to get going. Build a business. You may have some amazing impact with that business, some influence. When I was building the Bare Bones Biz plan and considering who really had it going on in business, Jackie came to mind. I didn't appreciate her then, but I appreciate her now. When I was 20 years old, I wasn't looking for a business mentor. I wasn't looking for inspiration for my business life. I was looking for some cash. I was looking for a job. And the restaurant that was closest to where I lived when I was a senior in college was Foxy John's Coffee Shop. It was a coffee shop, and I'd had a lot of jobs in some very nice restaurants. But it was close to where I lived, so I walked in one day and took a look around. There was more wrought iron than the French Quarter in Louisiana. And there were brown vinyl seats, the kind if you sit down on it would rip the skin off your thighs when you would stand back up. Not exactly the most tasteful decor, but it was very, very clean, which surprised me a bit. It was a coffee shop. Still, I wandered over to the hostess and I asked for an application, and I said, I'm looking for a job, and she said, okay, here's your application. Jackie is the owner, and she will meet with you at 2:30 on Saturday. Bring this application, your resume, and I suggest you dress up. I was looking okay. I had a Cheech and Chong t-shirt on, sweatpants. It was a coffee shop, for crying out loud. How particular could they be?
I always felt we had the cream of the crop as far as our employees went. They went through an interview process, and the main thing that we wanted from them, besides doing their job, was to let people know that we were happy they were here.
I went back Saturday at 2:30 and wore a skirt. And Jackie waltzed in. She looked sharp, she gave me a big smile and shook my hand, sat down and started grilling me. This was the first of 3 formal interviews. And when Jackie offered me a position on a probationary basis as a junior waitress in her coffee shop, I found myself saying yes. And she said, not so fast. To work for me, you have to do things my way. Lie, cheat, or steal, and you're gone. Break the rules and you're gone. I've got a system here and it works. And if you abide by my rules, you can have a lot of fun and make a lot of money. And the third thing is, you have to wear the uniform. I'd worked in a lot of restaurants and all the uniforms are horrible. I was not expecting this.
That uniform, most of the girls loved wearing it. I don't think you liked it, but most of them loved wearing it, you know, but I even wore that uniform.
A waitress comes out of the dining room and she's sporting the Foxy John's uniform. I am not making this up. Let me describe it to you. Starting with the shoes, nurses' shoes, bright white, so bright you could barely look at them. support hose like your Nana wears, the color of Band-Aids, and then hot pants. Remember those? And they were the brown material, apparently the same material that was lining the booths, that vinyl material on these hot pants. And then a kicky little skirt, who knows why, a fitted bodice with this apron. It was stiff, made of Kevlar or something. And sleeves. The sleeves were so poofy that the waitress's earrings were resting on them. And I'm looking at this uniform going, perhaps this is the suggested uniform. And Jackie knew what the objection was, and she looked at me and she said, "You'll wear it. I like them. I make them." If you don't show up in the uniform, I'll send you home. So it's up to you. And somehow she sold me on this vision. I'm a fence testing employee and I am buying, so I come to work. And I meet with Susie, the dining room manager, and she hands me this 10-pound training guide. And I'm like, I know how to waitress. And Susie says, well, whatever. Jackie must have seen something in you because you're the first person she's hired in 25 interviews. I stood a little taller in that scratchy polyester. And Jackie again sold me on her vision. And you know what? It was fun. It was high action and a lot of tickets, and her systems worked. We made money, we worked together. You know, on Sundays, Jackie would put herself in that costume and she'd come out and wait tables with us, and she could line plates all up one side and down the other. She was good, and we loved her, and we would take a bullet for her. Because in this oasis of sanity and reasonable consequence, Jackie created a world that made sense.
You have your own business. You've got to be there. You can't expect somebody else or lots of somebody else's to do it all. You have to show them that you can do it too, and that you will do it. Mm-hmm. And that's what I loved about the restaurant, because, you know, I wanted to get out. I wanted to put those uniforms on. I was younger, and I wanted to go out, and I wanted to bus tables. And my favorite thing, they always said that when I walked out through from where the waitresses came out, I always felt like I was on stage. You know, my customers, I loved it. I loved talking to them. You learn so much if you just give people a little bit of time.
I have worked with hundreds of contractors, and I have done my best to teach business in such a way that it's honorable and wonderful. And I've still never come up with a better role model than Jackie.
I'm so excited that I mean, to see what you're doing. I mean, I'm so excited to think that maybe we had a little tiny part of you wanting to go on and do something like this. And of course, having your own business. And I say to anybody that is even thinking about it, go ahead, because you have to start somewhere. But you have to get the plan before you just go in off the top of your head.
Jackie, the influence that you've had now is going to extend to everyone here today, and I'm just so glad that you're here with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I present my mentor, Jackie. So I call you up and I say, you want to come out to Missouri and be on a TV show? And she's like, no, I don't think so. And I keep working on her. I was one of those waitresses, and you know, she loved Foxy John's, and so I worked on you a little bit. How was it to get that phone call?
It was out of the blue. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. I really could not believe it that you did that. And I wasn't going to come.
Well, she wasn't going to come. And so we kept twisting your arm. I'm so glad that you made it, but you're such a great example of how wonderful business can be. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ellen. But if we had people like you, we have a lot of them, but not as dynamic. But having people like you helps make your day richer, and it makes your business better, by far. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Yay!
Oh, I do. I love business. You know, I would, if anybody came up and asked me, I'd say, if you have a business, a dream, something that you want to do, check into it, you know, and there's financing. You know, it's not that you have to wait until you have all that money. There were times when Tom and I ran to the bank to meet the payroll, you know, and now, you know, we have a good life, and everything, thing that we did or that we didn't have because it went into the business was worth it.
So what do you think? Is there a business in you? If you're in a dead-end job, what have you got to lose? Maybe you love what you do, you just aren't making ends meet. Perhaps you'd like the freedom to work from home so you can be with your family. Or maybe you've just been wondering if you have what it takes to be in business for yourself. Why not build a business of your own? You can do it. You can share your unique gifts and talents, your products and services with the world. Give it your best. Be persistent and patient. Work your plan. Who knows? Maybe 25 years from now, one of your know-it-all fence testing employees will give you a call and thank you for your powerful, positive influence. Keep me posted of your successes and challenges at barebonesbiz.com. I wish you love, peace, and lots of money. Funding for Ellen Rohr's Is There a Business in You is provided by Oak Star Bank, combining our strength with your vision to achieve your goals. Springfield Business Journal, demonstrating pride in publishing. Watts Radiant, national leaders in radiant floor heating and snow melting. Nexstar Network, a business development and training organization for progressive service contractors. So as you enjoyed the program today, what questions would you like to ask, and maybe we could help answer those questions?
I'm interested. I work with you all the time, and I really don't know. Is the company have to be a certain size? Do they have to have a goal for a certain amount of money before you're interested in helping them?
Oh, no, yes. The answer is I'll help anybody.
Really little?
You mean just as far as me personally?
No, the company that would seek your help.
Sure. Now, one of the things we do at Bare Bones Biz is the website. And we make products and information available on the website. Worldwide business literacy is our mission. So I'm always thinking of ways that we could leverage this information, and this DVD is one. So the DVD is a way that we can be of service to more people. So that's why we put this program together. So barebonesbiz.com, the ebooks, the DVD, this is a way that we can leverage this information and make it available and accessible to anyone. I am bound by the number of hours and days that I can sell, and you may have a business like that as well. So my mission is worldwide business literacy. So how am I going to get you can't be everywhere. So products and services are another way that you could leverage the information that you package, that you sell. As a remodeling contractor, maybe you'd like to make information available on your website that would teach folks the 10 things to do if they're, to watch for if they're going to engage in a remodeling product. And if you're a dog groomer, consider how you could sell dog grooming products, because you will be limited to your time. So great question. Leveraging your time with products is one way to grow your business. Good.
Ellen, is this really a business plan that a banker will respect?
That's a great question. There are business plan models out there. There's lots of them. If you look at what makes the Bare Bones Biz Plan different is that it will address not just your business, but your life. For instance, the perfect life exercise. There are elements in the Bare Bones Biz Plan that are absolutely banker ready, investor ready. There's standard elements of any business plan, like an executive summary or a budget or a marketing plan, and that's all in there. Plus other things that will help you dovetail that business into your life to make it even more powerful. For instance, I got this question once upon a time, and a woman came up to me and she said, I don't know if I want to show this to my banker, because in my perfect life, I have sex in the morning and then again at lunch. Your banker doesn't need to know that. So you could keep the perfect day exercise private, and that'll also free you up to really put whatever would be in your perfect day. And it's in the binder. So if you were going to the banker, you might create a second binder or just not show the pages that the banker wouldn't be interested in. But all the key elements are there that will be appropriate to approach a banker or an investor. Thanks.
If you're already working or in an existing business, how much time do you think you have to spend each day applying this?
This is a super question, and I got to tell you, when I put my businesses together, never once did I put a plan together before I started. I had to fall in the holes first. So it's totally appropriate, you know, I think I've already started my business, now it's too late to put a plan together. It's never too late. So start with the plan. Here's how I would suggest you use the Bare Bones Biz Plan. In your calendar, your day planner, there's some information in the Bare Bones Biz Plan about how to use a calendar more effectively. But take your calendar and block off 2 hours a day for 6 weeks. If that seems really ambitious, make it an hour every other day. It doesn't matter. Just discipline yourself to spend some time on the plan. And if you've spent 2 hours a day for 6 weeks, you would revolutionize your business. If you don't want to do that or don't see how you could fit that into your life, fit in a half an hour, twice a week, and still consider an hour a week would be 52 focused hours on your business. You could make dramatic strides in the progress of your business with that much focused time. So terrific question. Whatever you can spare, work through the program. There's no grades. The goal police don't come and get you or take your kids away. It's up to you. It's just a way to hold yourself accountable. As someone who, you know, when I was a kid, planning, Richard Branson of Virgin Records said for him planning was like this. Short-term planning was lunch and long-term planning was dinner. I totally related to that. What happened is I wasn't making money and my life wasn't working out and I was falling in a lot of holes. So as I got older, I thought I got to straighten some things out. A plan gives you something to hold yourself accountable with, to hold on to and discipline yourself to do some of the simple bare bones things that will make all the difference to your success.
I've gone through the plan and I've completed it, and I've also gone to the bank and I have the green light and I'm ready to go. This is what I want to do.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So what, in your opinion, is the first thing I need to do to get this thing off the ground?
Well, each week you can put the plan together, but the plan is never finished. Here's what I recommend as a maintenance program and to make sure that you follow through on the plan that you have in your hands. Sunday night or Monday morning, but absolutely before the rest of the week takes off on you, sit down with your plan and flip through the setting site exercises. Review your perfect day. Remember what you want. Look at your mission statement and gain inspiration from that. Look through your goals. Look at the organizational chart, right? When you get to the getting it done section and you look at your list of top projects, do that. So that Sunday night, Monday morning meeting with yourself, sit down with your binder and flip through it page by page to gain inspiration and hold yourself accountable for getting things done. And if in your busy day you think of more things that need to be done, jot them down on your master to-do list. And at that meeting, Sunday night, Monday morning, have this handy and see if there's something new that needs to be added, right? That needs to be crossed off, updated, upgraded. And if you update your plan on a weekly basis and review your plan on a weekly basis, it will keep you from getting too far off track. It'll center you again. I usually do this on Sunday night. I'm not a morning person. If I show up in my office at Monday and I don't have a clear idea of what I want that week to look like, it'll take off without me and I'll blow it. So that meeting is what it will take now to put that plan into action.
Thank you.
Ellen, It sounds to me from your presentation and from what I've learned about Jackie is that the elements of success are three. You have to have a vision, you have to have a plan, and you have to have the people. Now, what I'd like to hear from you and maybe from Jackie is how do you know who the right people are, which seems very important when you're starting a business. Do you advise everyone to go through 3 interviews, or what are you looking for in your first few hires?
Well, since we're in the service business, in the food business, we always looked for people that were happy and would take the extra few minutes, not just put a cup of coffee on the table and take off. And people that will look you in the eye when you're interviewing and when you're talking to them. You just get a good feeling for them. And like I said, if we had more people like Ellen when we first started out, because we had trouble putting 2 nickels together too, because she's what everybody's looking for. And if I were starting a business, I would certainly go into this. I think it's wonderful.
Oh, this is a love fest. You know, you hired nice people, you hired fun, energetic people, but notice then what Jackie did. I was a fence tester. So she also put in systems. And the systems become the bad guy, in essence, is we knew what the rules were. We knew what the consequences were. So if we wanted to work there and make that money and make that fun, we had to do it her way. So your plan is where your procedures go. And so as you hire someone, you can say, this is your position on the org chart. This is how you fit in. This is how you can move up the ladder. This is how much you could get paid for every step of the way. And this is what you have to do to get there. So I've been told by my business guru friend Al Levy, people fire themselves in a good business because the rules are there, the game is laid out. Now you can choose whether or not you want to play it. And if your vision is compelling enough, you can get even a fence testing kid like me to say, I'll play. Well done. Great. Does that answer your question? Very good.
Currently, I'm my only employee, and
congratulations.
Thank you. My biggest problem is trying to figure out how to balance administrative and my work hours, because my work hours I get paid. My administrative, I'm trying to drum up more business. How many hours a week should I be dedicating just for administrative?
Anyone who sells their services by the hour has this challenge. First, when you get to the budgeting section of your plan, make sure you're getting paid enough for the hours for which you can charge to cover the hours for which you can't charge, which means your prices will have to go up. When you put a budget together, before you hire anybody, you could budget an administrative assistant. And you know, an add-on question to that is, when you know when it's time to hire your first person, right? Well, from a budgetary standpoint, we could discipline our customers to start paying for an assistant even before we hire one. Put it in the budget, and then you get to breathe a little easier. They're affording it. Now you have a little extra bank to pay someone, which is one way to go. The organizational chart is where you'll look to see what tasks could I hand off. Now, as I introduced you to my team, they're all very part-time. One of the things I've learned as I've built a team is it doesn't have to be a 40-hour-a-week position. And I have people on my team who would command amazing high 6-figure salaries should they be currently focusing on their career. But moms with small kids at home are a gold mine of opportunity. If you're flexible, I think Shauna and I started with 3 hours a week, and I was scared. All right, can I afford it? What would I give her to do? And bit by piece, we've expanded her duties and in a way that's been comfortable for both of us. So I hope that gives you some ideas. Did I answer your question? Yes. Okay.
On the making money section, part 2 says how much more money would make up for the risk and commitment of running your own business. Pick a dollar amount. And a few of us were talking about that. Is that like the padding? Is that the extra seeds?
That's a great question. One of the things I read is that the average pay that an owner takes out of their small business is $23,000. And that broke my heart. Now, it's up to you. You can, whatever you want to make in terms of your salary, that is up to you. It's not my job to lay my goals on you. You determine that. However, If you've quit this real job with benefits and a good salary and you go into business for yourself, unless you craft a winning salary, the hours are going to get long, the headaches are going to get bigger, and you're going to think, what have I done? Sometimes you're going to blow things up, especially as you're growing a business. You're going to make a mistake and you're going to need to make it right by your customer, and you're going to get resentful if there's not enough money to give them their money back. So what I suggest as you go through that exercise is start with bare bones, what you absolutely need, and then sweeten the deal. Because running your own business is going to take some time, some energy, some commitment, some sacrifice. And unless you make it really worth your while, you may give up on that really wonderful dream. So make lots of money doing it. Give money back when you blow it. It's easy. Business is easy. Does that clarify?
Yes, so that is padding.
Yeah. More the what you need plus what you want. Yeah.
Ellen, I'm in an industry whose products are a commodity. How can I price my product to give me the income that I need to live the life that I want to?
Oh, I'm so glad you brought up the C word, commodity. Now, I learned this when I spent $100,000 of my mom and dad's money in my college education. A commodity is a product that's very, very similar from producer to producer. For instance, rice or corn, right? So corn is corn is corn. And if corn is exactly the same, no matter who I buy it from, what is the one thing I'm going to look for? I'm going to look for the low price, right? Even in the commodities market, could this corn be here tomorrow? And perhaps this corn is organic. And perhaps this corn is grown in the US of A. However you can differentiate your product, you can add value and you can raise your prices. So even in a commodities market, look for ways to differentiate. And in your business, is working with you reason enough why I would pay more? I would have to think so.
Thank you.
Right? A nice guy is going to help me answer my questions. You know, you can always differentiate your product. So, you know, when you say I've got a commodity, I will challenge that thinking and encourage you to find ways to add value.
Thank you.
Good job.
Ellen, would you share a story? Because I know how this financial stuff helps you in business, but tell me how it's changed people's lives.
Getting to a known financial position.
Once they've got this under control, how has it made a difference in their life?
I'm going to tell you about one of my clients, and I've got him in my head, and he represents dozens, maybe hundreds of clients at this point. But someone will call me and they'll say, help me. They didn't put a plan together. They've already run into some holes, and in fact, they've got a big hole of debt. And that is what would cause them to call me. Donald Trump doesn't call me. Warren Buffett never called. All right? Very often someone will call me because they are in debt, they're not making any money, they're very, very frustrated. So I'll take them through the process. And this bare bones biz plan is exactly what I started to use as my business tools. Little systems that would help you keep track of the money. It's not just enough to make money. You have to have a reason for being in business. That's what led me to flesh out the setting site section. And then you might have other folks who can help you. That led to the building the team section. The area in my consulting where I spend the most time is in the making money section, because I can do this. I will demystify the financial statements. I am not intimidated by whatever big mess any of my clients have made with their books. So this fella sent me his financial statements, and he's got, you know, no profit, and he's got a big negative amount where the profit should be. And so together we first fix it. Let's get it at least true. Let's make sure that every line is accurate. Oh, and this is scary. You know, my clients will say, I don't want to know. They'll start telling me about their sex lives or their kids or other stuff that, you know, they'll really try and avoid this. But line by line, I go line by line down the balance sheet and income statement, and we just make it right. We just make it real. And then we put a budget together. And we ask, how much do you want? And they come up with a number, and then, you know, I got a call from a client the other day, and his profit is still modest. It's $11,000 for the year. Last year he lost $75,000. So it demonstrates a tremendous turnaround, and helping people that way is why I do what I do. But everything I've taught you is easy. It appeals to your common sense. I wish we taught what I teach in 6th grade, but I didn't even learn it in college. And so that's my passion. So I would encourage all of you, share what I've shared with you, with your kids, with your coworkers, with someone who says, I got an idea for a business. Oh, really? I can help you put a little plan together. I hereby empower you to take anything you've learned today to help someone else. And if together we can increase business literacy and people are free and clear to trade honorably, ethically, profitably with each other, well, the world is well served. So thanks.
Ellen, a lot of people are kind of scared about starting a business, and so they'll start working in the evenings or on weekends. And what advice do you have to people that feel like they want to start a business, that are not quite ready to quit their day job, and once they do decide to start it, when do you counsel them it's okay to quit the day job and take the big leap?
I would counsel them just like you said. Start it in the evenings, start it on the weekends, go small, put the plan together. You don't have to quit your real job yet. I mean, if you want to make sure that, I'm going to tell a story about Brent. Brent called me. I had put together a little contest on my website, and it was called Extreme Makeover Small Business Edition. And to win the contest, you had to write an essay of why I should spend my time and energy for you and not charge you for it. All right? And Brent wrote a fabulous essay about what he wanted his ideal business to be. It was a handyman remodeling business. And his essay blew away the hundreds of other applications that we had. He was the clear winner of the contest. But I called him up and I challenged him. I said, you know, I'm going to commit to you, and I want to make sure that this is time well spent for me and that you are going to take advantage of this opportunity to grow your business. And he says, I'm going to do it. I said, great. Okay, tell me about it. He says, I'm going to quit my real job. I have 3 months worth of savings. I have a wife and a baby. And he makes upwards in the high 6 figures. And I'm like, oh, are you sure you want to do that? Now I'm feeling all this responsibility come back on me. And Brent said, nope, I'm clear. If you'll help me put a plan together, I'm really clear. I don't want to work in the corporate world anymore. I'm ready to go. So an aggressive, risk-taking guy like Brent moved quickly. If you're not so sure, then work in the evenings, a Mary Kay business, a cosmetic business, or if you want to work part-time, maybe you could quit your real job, but I think you can ease into it. You will find the answer for yourself as you work through the plan. At the very least, say, let me consider my business in a formal, focused way, and that's what the Bare Bones Biz Plan can do for you. If you work through the Perfect Life exercise, you know, in my perfect life, I only want to work 2 hours a day. So now, how can I craft a business where those 2 hours are the best use of my time and are of service to people? What about you? You might be a workaholic. You might like working 10 hours a day. But consider your family, your health, the other things you'd like to do, and that's where you'll find the answer to that. A long-winded answer, but I hope the answer was in there. What do you think? Give yourselves a round of applause. Yay!